Thank you for tuning in to Dungeons and Dialogue, brought to you by your D&D channel. And Kellogg's. Once again, Kellogg's has brought me in to host this podcast. My name is Joey. Yeah. As well, Kellogg's is paid to fly in our 3 guest hosts.
From across the globe.
All the way from South America.
All the way from South America. We got Dylan, Nicole.
And I'm from Germany.
And Sam from Germany.
And I went to Germany first.
Yeah, whatever.
And probably the first time on this podcast, all of us have been in the same campaign together.
Yeah. And it's great!
It is the thrilling conclusion.
Man, I can't wait to Cinnamon Toast crunch our way into this podcast.
Is that even Kellogg's? Is that General Mills?
Probably General Mills.
Well, guys, we've lost our sponsorship from Kellogg's. So instead of it just being great, that the podcast was pretty good.
It's fun. They're pretty flaky.
Yeah. This is the thrilling conclusion to the Askiah trilogy, as I just now called it, for the first time.
Wow.
Welcome to Askiah
trilogy like that.
Yeah, right. In the last podcast, you heard me name it as Askiah Part 3, The Days of Future Past, because it truly is as close to the Days of Future Past as you could probably get before you actually start ripping off Days of Future Past in D&D.
Yeah. It was not out of a desire.
None of us had read the story arc or saw the movie before this.
Yeah.
I don't think the movie was even out
needed
yet.
some training.
Yeah.
Not me. Willow did.
And
I could have fought him right then and there. Jack Jackson, he was...
As it turns out, me, Scott, and Rodney were just beasting all over this plane, starting to become the big bad evil prime analogs for this universe, because it worked for our universe. Mm-hmm. And that left the former heroes, Dirk, dead.
Vampire. He wasn't... Well, he was dead, but...
We had killed him.
He was undead.
Sam and I were... Sam was at the
arena training for a year.
And
not doing anything.
In the woods.
Lazy.
The whole time.
And Nicole was trying to find another fucking druid Coachella rave party.
I found a lot.
Because the first one got super fucked up. By this point.
Yeah, but she didn't know that while she was traveling.
Yeah, I went away.
Didn't actually, for being the heroes of the land, we didn't really know anything about the terrible atrocities that was going on across
we fell off
the
the map. We didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, you fell off the map, but I was the champion of the arena.
That's what you were
That's all you were doing, though. You weren't traveling.
Oh,
you weren't looking outside ever.
We were just fighting.
Do you think I ever heard anything about it? I know we didn't touch on it.
Everyone already thought there was a necromancer in the north coming. That was all you were hearing, is if there was undead, you just assumed it was the necromancer in the north.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
But one of the big things I wanted to ask you guys, because me and Joey recorded the other part without you, because you guys weren't in that one.
Click the link in the description down below to watch that.
Yeah.
Or not, I mean...
Well, definitely click that.
No, do.
Every time I think it's something, I should say that now.
Make sure you do
no links in the description.
No links in the description. If there's no links, it's because either Joey or Dylan is lazy.
That's me.
Dylan
is the upload manager where I just do things.
Remember, he has to listen to all this.
I have been listening to all of them, except for the first 5 to 7.
Yeah. Oops.
That's not true. I listened to the last one.
So one of the things that was really interesting about this one is that we were playing in your guys' world, but I still hung out with you guys as friends. Mm-hmm. And I kept being man, my D&D group's fucking up your world, and you guys were getting more and more what the fuck? Why are they in our world? Why'd you put them there?
This is some bullshit.
It was pretty bad.
I didn't even know this world was a previous thing.
I was like, what's Jack doing? You were like, nothing.
Nothing.
I'm like, that's some bullshit. I challenged them one-on-one, me bro.
And I was like, I don't think you did.
I'll challenge you. Just me and you in a bare knuckle brawl.
Yeah, bare knuckle brawl. Maybe not.
And then something that was cool about that was where we... When you found out that Rodney was basically helping them take over the plane, they had stopped the necromancer in the north themselves, and they were now taking all his shit. They had the totem and they had the army.
Like a couple of assholes.
My totem from the fucking other dimension.
And you guys were like, oh man, it's actually getting bad. That was when... Was it Jack Jackson? I think you did seek out Willow. Or was it Willow who seeked you out?
No, it was... I was in the arena.
No, somebody somebody seeked out.
Whoa.
I forgot. It was the priest.
Yeah, the
Paylor
priest.
The old Paylor guy.
We didn't look for each other.
I don't think we ever ran into him in 2.0.
Yeah,
No.
there was probably a reason for that.
Yeah.
Probably because Dylan forgot.
No,
Well, actually,
he wasn't
it was
around in 2.0.
It was because
They hadn't had any idea.
his church was underground. You guys,
We
destroyed the other
everything.
churches, I guess. Maybe
Yeah.
just the Church of Paylor.
Something like that.
Yeah.
We destroyed a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And,
A lot of shit.
we got there, and the old man, or, well, not the old man came to us, and he found me first, and then he was like, we gotta go get someone. And I was like, alright, whatever.
Sure.
As long as it's not Willow, she hates me right now.
And then it was definitely Willow.
Yeah, it was definitely Willow.
But it wasn't Lyle.
Shit!
It could have been Lyle.
Probably should have got Lyle.
Probably.
In retrospect, like...
That would have been funny. Can you imagine calling AJ back?
Like,
No.
hey.
Like,
I've never once called AJ back.
he'd be like, wait, what's going on? I'm like, hey, your world's like dying. Like,
Yeah. It's at the brink.
and he's like, oh, what to? And I'm like, undead. Your definite favorite. Like,
you love it.
But yeah, so he went and got you, and then you came and found Willow, and you were definitely still like mad. You're like, no, I
Willow
don't.
was mad at me. I wasn't mad at Willow.
Okay, I gotta say,
understood.
this is me and Sam's first ever long campaign, so we were like really, really attached to
You sure
the
were.
characters, the world,
Yeah.
everything.
Everything
Yeah, I just
about
came in with my big old mummy peen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Said,
You
now.
impregnated
Fucked it
her
all up.
with evil.
Fuck the shit right out of it.
Gave us AIDS. You
Mummy AIDS.
sick bastard.
Can I give the whole plane like mummy rod?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is
probably.
something that you can do, but no, you're dead now, so... Spoilers. Spoilers.
But, yeah, Willow did agree only because this cleric guy was definitely, or this, I don't know if he's a cleric or, he was probably a cleric.
I think it was her.
But he was definitely like, you don't get it, like, the world's gonna end. Like, we're gonna lose.
No, she was like, there's not gonna be trees anymore.
Yeah.
And
That makes
you
sense.
were like, nah.
Not
Like,
the
I don't believe
trees.
you.
Yeah.
And the thing is that the reason that we had to, we end up, the next thing that happens, we take like a really interesting alternate route, but it was because the attack on the mainland had like almost started. Like you guys had like a week before that, essentially.
I see you guys
and you guys were not strong enough
at all.
by a good margin.
I don't know.
You were like level 4 or 5
Yeah,
at
we
most,
were.
and they
That's
were
true.
like level at least 11. Like with
Yeah.
at least
There's
with,
three
and
of
there was a
us.
vampire and a mummy. It wasn't like it was like.
Maybe.
So it was like.
At
Well,
4
I was,
could you handle strength 42?
and the worst part is because it had been going on like in real time, and you guys had been asking me like in the real world, like we had been trying to find a time for you guys to play to kind of try to interact with their group, and then when we did, it caused a huge fight.
Yeah, how are we going to address that? I forgot to bring that up before this.
Well,
Should we get that?
it was
into the...
so what it was that was upsetting is that we did have
We homebrewed.
you guys had some homebrew stuff. Exactly. We had been doing really high treasure, and we had been doing it was your first campaign, so when I put you guys through it, I just wanted you guys to feel like you were badasses.
Yeah.
That was the whole point. And then when we do this kind of first try, we just set up a fight. We didn't set up a campaign setting or anything. It was just like, we're just going to have Jack Jackson and Willow show up to try to fight the party.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. And you didn't really have the levels, so we gave you some levels too. But those were just like regular
Wasn't
levels.
that after?
the-
That was after everything. That was after us going back.
Was it
Yeah.
after everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Wait, should we?
mixed up when it was
Yeah,
then.
we should go back because
Okay.
that was pretty far.
That was at the end.
Yeah.
I thought we redid stuff because of it.
No, because we like. I'll bring it up. I'll
Okay.
bring it up. There's something I want to bring up about that I remember.
So are we going back in time yet?
Yeah,
they
we're going back
get
to-
no,
found
we're at the
by
church.
Paylord.
Yeah, you
Okay.
guys got found, and he basically tells you, like, essentially this whole, everything's gonna be fucked, and you guys aren't strong enough to stop it. So, because you don't have enough time to get stronger, he's gonna send you, like, 5,000 years into the future.
Yeah.
And then you can level up and get stronger in the totally terrible, evil future
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
killing things there.
Which I mean, yeah.
And since this is like the real Days of Future Past, you going back in time again to fix your timeline doesn't happen. You just exist on another timeline, and your original timeline's still fucked.
We almost did that, but
that's exactly how Days of Future Past
Nicole
ends.
almost turned evil.
Yeah,
that was the point.
Sam did too. We both almost
Sam did too.
evil.
Yeah. But so you guys get through like this. He takes you to this hidden underground church, and it's like super genuinely underground, like it's under the dirt.
Yeah.
And he's got like this ritual that he's got set up that's going to send you guys back in time with Nicole's griffins and hippogriffs. By this point, Willow had no, you didn't have the hippogriffs yet?
No.
Wow.
No.
But she definitely had at least a griffin.
Just one griffin. Yeah.
And that was awesome. You guys went back or forward in time, and it's just this like torn up landscape, and there's no trees anywhere, no grass. Yeah, it was like
there's just thorns and
like undead and demons and shit. Like
and the first thing we see is demons.
It was.
We didn't see anything for a while though.
That's true. That's true.
For a while.
Yeah, it was just
the one of the things that I remember actually I described it to them the same way I described your guys' original plane. Because you pretty much did to this plane
that's
where you had come from.
I thought that in the last part I mentioned we had basically become the primevals from our plane on this plane. And how that was a really nice ending to that part of our campaign.
Woke up in the future and there was just some
guy.
Fuck boy there.
Yeah! Oh, he's the best. Okay.
So who is this amazing
So Sam and Nicole, they were like insisting that we be able to play, and we didn't have 3 players. We had 4 players. We had a DM and 2 players. Me, Sam, and Nicole. Yeah. And I'm like, guys, it's hard to do that. That's not quite enough.
People.
And they were like, no, we refuse to let them take our fucking world. We are fighting
a valid argument.
So I made an NPC in the future to help them because they did not have an ability to really survive this future either.
No.
And their help
be hard, bro.
Their help is a cleric who's like able to cast up to 7th level spells,
which is amazing on its own.
And his name is Ruel.
Yeah, it would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you would think so.
It would be considering we destroyed all religion.
That was the thing. Yeah,
that's why the church was underground.
Yeah, I know.
So you couldn't get to it. It was like defended.
He had a unique story because he was raised, and he was the last one. His family was.
Yeah, his family for generations has been raising the last good on the universe. They can't
as soon as the one
fields and
the father would teach the son everything he needed to know, and as soon as the son the instant the son was essentially ready to protect himself, the dad died. Yeah. Bam, dead now.
Yeah.
And Ruel's like, we've been doing that for 5,000 years.
They would notice.
Draws evil.
And they never left the house either.
Yeah, they never left the bunker.
Talk about sheltered.
Yeah,
yes, and you are the prime evil.
And you guys were looking out for everything too. If we did one thing, you guys would be like.
So it turns out we don't good.
It reminded me of the eye in the sky.
Yeah, Sauron.
And Sauron.
That was basically
the level of oppression. Yeah.
It felt like every time we do something, the eye would be at us.
We had rings that we got beforehand from the guy that sent us back in time that made it so you couldn't detect us. But
if they found out you were in an area, they're still powerful enough to be like, we're just gonna go kill everything.
Yeah.
You guys being there is just death for everyone.
Yeah.
And
they're all definitely
the first
polluters.
thing came upon was that demon, right?
The one demon.
Yeah. It was the only one. Totally a low level, just the one demon.
I remember when we recorded part 1, I said I would talk about it when we got to it, and this is one of the best things that ever happened in D&D for me. This is the other one. And it was Jack Jackson sees this demon from a pretty good distance, and he's just like, oh, it's just the one demon, though. We can handle that. And, I just lost my shit. I was definitely yeah, just one demon.
Yeah.
No problem.
Those guys are cool, right?
Yeah. So we go up to it and challenge it, because it's just the one.
It's just up about.
We don't have to,
It's just up about.
Actually, we snuck up when we attacked it, and it survived our attack, which was scary. And then it, looked at us, and it was
now imagine if...
And it summoned its friend.
Which is also
in that moment...
And I was like, oh.
Imagine if in that moment your cleric was like, God, please help me. And the god said, no, you're fighting the wrong side. And you're like, fuck you, God. And then summoned another huge demon on top of all of that.
Oh, that's sad.
It was the worst.
I think I can imagine that, but maybe later.
And that literally led to the worst thing to ever happen to your plane.
I don't know. Everything bad happened with my girl.
Yeah, the worst thing to happen to our plane was you.
Yeah, that's what created me. That exact scenario is what created me.
It sounds like it's all Rodney's fault for
Yeah.
you coming to our plane.
That's definitely true.
Yeah, you mean...
Now that we have a timeline in front of us.
Yeah. Now that there's been the first Askiah, the second Askiah.
Congratulations, your D&D Channel fans. You have been here for the enlightenment of
Do you guys
Rodney ruined
have an official Your D&D Channel timeline yet? Get on that.
Yeah, come on,
All
guys.
the campaigns are in a consecutive timeline. Now can't.
Actually, no. This one, just like the Metal Gear franchise, the third major part we go over was a prequel to the whole shit.
It was more than a prequel. It was like a extended sequel. It was in the future.
Yeah.
And you guys were all undead, so you were all still alive.
I mean, of all the three major campaigns we've talked about on the podcast.
Oh, yeah. This is the one that came
definitely
first, for sure.
Yeah.
There you go. That's your hint.
Start here. Well, not here, but the first part of here.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck.
It just ends.
Yeah.
But,
well, this has been your D&D channel.
I'm just going to add in like a TV turning on.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and we're back.
But then, his friend got summoned, and then his friend looked at us and was like, and like summoned his friend.
Yeah.
And then his friend looked at us and was like, and like missed and failed.
They only get one a day, and it's 50-50. So they fought a few of them, and it wasn't too hard.
Yeah, but
It
they were
was
just
stupid.
suddenly more of a mouse.
And they were definitely like, Ruel, why don't you use some awesome cleric magics to fight the demons with us? And he's like, I can't use higher than like second level spells, or big shit will find us.
like, wow. Cool. Thanks for being here.
Well, the thing is he had the option. It was just
not the best.
Something bigger is going to show up if you use this.
Yeah, but
and then to fight the bigger thing, you have to use the bigger magics, which brings in bigger things.
Yeah, we know.
It's just a vicious cycle.
That's how you.
You guys made your way to the necropolis.
Yeah, we kept
How
going.
do you guys
we
feel
found
about
the
the
necropolis.
necropolis?
Nicole was happy about that.
Are you happy
The
about
Villa
the
Village.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Oh wait, that was before it. Yeah, on the way there.
Was that? Oh.
Yeah, there was like just one of the first places you found was this town.
Oh.
It was
yeah.
It was like a regular little town. Not regular is not the right word, but it was
It
a
was a
town of
town.
survivors.
A neutral town.
They were starving and everything, and it looked bad. And then,
Yeah.
It was basically like a Fallout settlement. Like it wasn't actually a town
of people.
Yeah.
Of people in that time.
Yeah.
We were like, oh my god.
And it's
You
for people-
survived?
Yeah.
What the
And
fuck?
they were mostly evil people, but they were like, we are definitely alive. Like,
Yeah, we're neutral evil.
We're not going to kill you for being here, but also don't touch me.
Yeah, but also
So
don't come over
remember
here.
that we were good.
Yeah, we're
Very
definitely good.
And-
We've been
And also, Nicole and Sam's characters are not getting along. That's also still a thing. Like, Willow is still actively pissed at Jack Jackson. Like,
Yeah.
and so that's like, there's a lot of tension in just all parts of this area.
All facets of life.
Every time we'd fight someone, we'd get an argument. Like,
Stop hitting him! No!
You're killing him like you killed my dad!
You bastard!
Sick fuck.
anyways, I started planting shit because, like, fruit, vegetables, trees.
Yeah, we had like tons of apple trees.
And I had a seed patch that would let me have how many seeds I wanted.
And I was wearing my big shiny metal armor with all my gold and shit.
Yeah. And we did everything, and I got my... you guys...
And everything went well.
Yeah, it went awesome, and that... No. It was pretty cool, because you walked up and there was, like, this farm, and it was, like, disgusting plants, and they were, like, they looked terrible, and they were wilted, and it was not going to be a good harvest. And you were like, oh, I'm so fucking on this.
Yeah,
like,
this is
boom,
like
look how much
me.
amazing food there is. And, like, all these people start coming around, and they're like, thank you so much. Like, can you make us more? And she's like, yeah. It starts making even more food
Like,
for these people.
Can I make it more?
And, like, the whole town is, like, really, really, like, being like, you are so awesome, thank you so much. And then I'm like, Nicole, make a will save. And she passes. And I'm like, from like maybe 60 or 70 feet over there, you felt an incredible psionic presence attempt to invade and take over your mind. And she's like, what?
No, this does predate the water campaign.
Out of game.
So it's
Have
not
you talked about the water campaign in this at all? Like in the other...
Yeah, those episodes are already up.
So that's why he thought about...
Sam started getting into the mind stuff, the mind flares and stuff. Yeah. And so they got the book, and he was into the mind flares too, because Sam was into it. And it was just...
and as you can tell,
we didn't expect... those things to be there.
Surprise.
They were never on the plane.
Yeah, it's true. I'd never thrown a psionic at you at all before.
Ever. That was the first one.
Because thank you, Sam. You're the one that started.
Yeah, that's true. Sam had become... I think the water campaign may have even started.
Look at that.
And because I think we did... Askiah, like...
Like right in the beginning of
it. It was like right at the beginning of the water campaign, yeah. It was
that's your second hint, listeners. That's your second hint. The last part of Askiah started when the water campaign started.
In the real world timeline. Now you gotta make a timeline for the fictional world and the real world.
Yeah, good luck.
But,
Clapsing.
Wow, no, clapping.
Because the next round, it actually did take over your mind.
Yeah.
But by then, you had already told Jack Jackson...
It was like she had fought him off, and we were actively killing all the villagers.
Yeah, they were like thralls, probably.
Yeah, well, half of them you said half of them were thralls, half of them were just regular people, and I was like, well, are they still attacking me? Because I didn't want to kill regular people and stuff, but they were all
worked
assholes.
for him or something instead of being mind slaved.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But. We were like killing them, and then Nicole was like casting the whole time, and then right at the end, we found the mind flare.
I think it was just a scion.
Or a scion, yeah. We found the scion, and
right when we seen him, I got captured.
Yeah, and I shot him in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing is because he had tried once, and then when he tried the second time, he did pass, and immediately Sam was like, boom, dead guy, like one down, and so Nicole was like, I'm no longer.
That was close.
That was definitely close. No, that was awesome too, because Nicole, like, you constantly were like, I can't fucking believe those villagers were just trying to take over my mind, because like the reason they did that, they went and got the scion because you were basically a cash cow in this future.
Going evil?
I was going evil this whole time because there's no like plans, and like my whole plan got fucked.
And then when you tried to be a good guy, everyone like fucked you over.
Yeah.
And you were like, I tried to give these people food, and they tried to mind slave me for money. I'm like, kill them all.
And we proceeded to kill almost all of them.
Yeah.
A couple got away, but we let them get away.
And you left the gardens there. You were like, well,
yeah, we did.
Someone ate this food.
No, we left them.
Didn't you? I thought you wilted all of them, so they couldn't.
Do you think that she would ever do that?
I think because she was going evil. I thought that was one of the things she did.
Maybe she thought about it. That sounds like something she might have talked about, but not necessarily done.
I don't think I did it though.
Probably. You probably
voice
just
left
the train. If I was that evil already, I would have been evil at the end.
No, that was actually like. It was fun in game, but that was like one of the things that really impacted you as a player. I could tell, where you were like, "No, this changes how I understand where we are." Like,
this is not my world.
This place fucking sucks. Like, and that was like one of the big reasons you guys were like, "We have to fix this. This can't be the future." Like,
yeah, right.
And that was cool. You made it to the necropolis, and it was like abandoned. It was like he used to rule from here. Then they took over the world, and now he rules from Sensi, where the king and capital was. Like,
they probably tortured the king and queen forever and ever.
Probably. They're probably still getting tortured.
Yeah, I know. We don't think about it.
You didn't even go and help them. Way to go.
Well, we're busy getting ready to help them.
In the past.
But not quite.
In the future. But in the past.
Exactly. But yeah, you guys get to the necropolis, and that was where, like, it was... Rodney had these blueprints I was talking about last time that were, like, this ridiculously huge place, and I didn't actually realize that they were supposed to be scaled up to, like, 1 square being 9 squares, so I drew it on our grid. It's like 1-to-1 scale, and it was just definitely a smaller necropolis than it was supposed to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I didn't know that until after we had played it.
Wait, the necropolis with the wood?
super narrow hallways and the wood.
Oh, that would have been a lot easier.
Yeah, I would have won that.
This is where the rave party was with the
nuns. As we talked about in Askiah 2.0.
Yeah, because you guys, this is where they came out of the portal originally.
Yeah.
And then that was really close to that place. They weren't quite the same. They used the druids from that place to make it, though.
But this is the first time that Willow had seen it since.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was definitely close enough.
Yeah. Which really sucked because, it was her druids that built it, and it was like...
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
A monument, and up to, partying and being a druid. It was awesome.
And I felt the pain.
Yeah, I felt the pain of every lost soul. But also, it was made of wood, so...
Yeah, I just, fucking warped that shit and walked right in.
Yeah, that was convenient. Every time there was a thing, Nicole was like, I warped the wall as wood, and it's ironwood, so it's really fucking good wood.
It's attacked by a sword, she's like...
Yeah, because, you guys kept going around, and each of them, Joey, Scott, and Rodney had their own, rooms in the necropolis. Mm-hmm. And, each of the rooms had, some clues and information on them in the past.
Yeah, I wrote down all their journal stuff.
Yeah, you found journals even. Yeah.
I really find it weird that my belt. It wasn't on the plane.
I found it.
You found it. Yeah. Within that 5,000 year gap, you had gotten your champion belt, and then he fucking stole it in the future.
Nice.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember, that's what, okay.
That's how I got you to charge at me when your character was charged. Not in the fight with
Yeah, you were.
Not the first one. Not the second one.
The first one, he used it on the first one.
I don't remember him using it at all.
That's why you were going after him. Remember, you went straight for him.
You did go straight for him. I remember that for sure.
I was going straight for him because I was using player knowledge.
Oh, well.
That's in character, he wanted you to anyway, so.
Yeah, I had your belt for that reason, so.
I definitely like Sam is the most likely to kill me immediately. So I started making my way towards Sam.
Making my way towards Sam. Walking through sand.
Well, walking faster.
So as we continued through this necropolis, one of the big problems was the hallways, because I had not drawn this fortress scale, were 5 foot hallways, and you had people right behind you. Now you can't go that way. You know what I mean?
15 foot hallways.
And so it was the order was Jack Jackson, Willow, Ruel are walking in this hallway.
Yeah, because Ruel and Willow were kind of casters at this point. And I was...
okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know what it was. I was just playing with it. But yeah, I was okay, you get to this door in this hallway, and you open it, and there's just an entropic reaper, right there.
Oh, the small hallway?
Yeah, they're really
as it do.
And Jack Jackson's oh, this is uncomfortably close. Hey guys, I can't back up.
We were all in line.
No, that wasn't even it. I was okay, this is no problem. I'll take care of it. And I hit it once, and it didn't do that much. And then it hit me, and it did the entropic effect. And it super hurt me. And I was like, "Oh, guys, I gotta go! Get out of the way! Back up! This isn't a joke, man."
And then it took a couple rounds, but you guys did get out of the hallway and into this bigger area.
I warped it, remember?
Yeah.
And I was shh.
And there was the big center area that was a huge circle, even at this scale.
I thought we went outside.
Yeah,
it was inside, but it was in the center, and it looked like it was outside. Okay. So it was all around. Yeah, because it was
just ran out into the field.
Yeah,
and, we were gonna.
Was it? Because I thought it was in the center. Maybe that's where. Okay, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, because I think that's where the portal is. It's in the center.
Yeah,
maybe. Well, there's something else that happens for sure in the center.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys end up fighting it, and you do beat it. But along the way, Ruel uses a higher level spell to beat it.
I was so fucking almost dead.
Yeah, and he was I'm gonna heal it had to heal the entropic effect, I think, and that's this is a bigger spell. I can't do this without higher level spells. And he did, and it was after you'd beaten the Reaper.
Yeah, I was just do it, Ruel. This is the only thing that you've ever...
And then a giant demon teleported into that center area there, and he was I definitely felt a giant pulse of good around here.
I can only mean a couple of things, and all of them are that the heroes are back.
And all of them are gonna die. And that was another big deal, because, you still couldn't use higher level spells, and Ruel constantly flubbed rolls on attacks.
Yeah.
He could never hit anything. The Reaper, the Bow, it didn't matter. Ruel was not doing damage.
Yeah.
So he was really not helping for his only
He's kind of
purpose.
the worst, but we loved him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good.
He was the only good on that plane.
He had
we
heals.
to protect him.
Yeah,
he had heals.
He had heals in that plane. We didn't have heals, and we needed the heals.
A level 2 heal is better than no heal at all.
Yeah, right.
And so you guys managed to beat that demon too after some fighting. And I don't think anything major happened during that. He didn't summon another one or anything.
You got 8 fires on him, though.
What?
Didn't you get, like, a curse put on him?
No, that was the entropic effect. I didn't get anything else.
Okay.
And then when you guys were going through the rooms, the only other thing in the area that attacked you was the sword. And Willow was immediately just like, I'm going to pin it to the wall with the wood. And it was like, yeah,
fuck that shit.
It's an animated sword. It's stuck. Like, you did that to something else too. Like I think in Joey's room, some like skeleton or something came out of like a sarcophagus when you guys went in there. And Nicole was like, you're stuck to the wall.
Like, you guys walk in and it's all dark and like smoke and you're just like, oh god, it's creepy. And like the sarcophagus top falls off and the skeleton sits up. It's just like spooky, scary skeleton.
No.
And
you guys got the journals was the really important thing because that helped you in the past. You were able to look and see what they were going
I find
to
it
do.
hilarious that those were in the necropolis and not the fucking fortress.
What was your old base thousands of years ago?
Yeah, I guess
like you didn't even care about this shit anymore. It's been so long. You were totally like. That was
There's
more than a
no
lifetime
good
ago.
left.
Yeah.
There's no good. You were actually probably
And you
attacking,
owned all
like,
the
other
portals.
planes and stuff, but you were like also living there.
Was one of the portals in that underground church? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the third one that you guys didn't know about long enough, for a long time. Because you guys thought you had both the portals on lock when you had this necropolis and the one that you guys found in the stronghold that you stole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Assholes.
Yeah, that was the third one, and those were the only 3 portals. So as far as you knew, your characters had it on.
No, it wasn't there. It was the necropolis, it was downtown Sensi, and it was in the fortress.
Where do you know where it was in Sensi? It was just some guy's house, right?
Yeah, just some random
some guy who
house.
was like, I study these. Like,
I study portals.
He
I'm
made
like,
one.
cool. Do you know where one is? He's like, yeah, in my basement.
Oh, wow, that's really convenient.
Huh.
Yeah, it's super secret. No one knows it's there because I built it myself.
I don't even know why I'm telling you. You just got such a high charisma.
Right, like
good diplomacy.
As he's saying that, he's just like walking towards the door and locks it. Now you can't leave. You should know about my portal.
Pulls out like a chainsaw and you're like, I don't think that's... How do you... Whatever.
He just like looks away and looks up to him the next day. He's like, did you know I have a secret portal down in the basement? Don't tell anyone.
You're just like, oh, he's crazy.
But he does. But
He's got 2.
Like, I
like
told
looking at each other. It's 2 portals.
Okay, I was trying to remember that when we were talking about it last time. I was trying to remember where it was. So.
Downtown Cincy, everybody, where it, it's not Cincinnati, that's for sure.
No, you probably just fucking destroyed it. Like,
probably.
I mean,
the house at least.
Yeah, collapsed it on it.
We should have took
You definitely, they destroyed, we completely forgot about, we forgot Amelia.
Who the fuck is Amelia?
Amelia was a cleric who turned blackguard.
Ooh,
yeah,
sounds.
She was a paler cleric too. I liked her until she...
That was near that place because the church was burned down at the end.
She burned the church down.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. We will not go into Amelia because she was too long ago.
Sorry,
come on, give me some Amelia.
You'll just never know.
I need to know about Amelia.
Well, maybe another time.
No,
maybe another day. On
the
another
perfect
podcast.
time to talk about
You'll
Amelia.
just have to listen.
Well, we should keep it.
And comment, like, subscribe down below. Hit that bell button to see our rest of our videos.
We should stick with part 3.
Isn't Amelia part of part 3?
She was part 1.
What?
Yeah, we just forgot.
Yeah, she's
wow.
I remembered her because she was the church she destroyed was near this portal house in Sensi.
There's
just more, dude. There's
just always more.
There's things that
if you want Amelia, put in the comments. We want Amelia.
Yeah, I'll give you maybe a 5-minute thing. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. We'll go live on Instagram once.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll make like a 35-minute documentary on it for the channel.
The story's really good.
Amelia. Oh, Black God.
It was really cool. And after you guys had finished the necropolis, you had gotten a few levels.
Yeah,
I would fucking hope.
Or at least a level. Yeah.
And we found the portal, and we found Rodney's journal. And Rodney's journal had drawings of, like, the rune symbols that go on the portal.
Did you retcon Zach's knowledge into Rodney's hands?
No. It was different. It actually was... See, they went and got Rodney's journal and everything, but the thing that wrote this down was not Rodney or Zach.
Okay.
So
it was Dylan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you guys ever found out about who in our party learned the most, probably, about the portal system when we were at least playing. That was Zach.
Yeah, that was my character, because I could just read anything.
Yeah.
And, like,
you had an item called the Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone, yeah.
You could read any language.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or speak any language.
I put in the runes into the portal that was in the necropolis, because that was our base now. Fuck you. So
Fair.
Yeah.
Even trade.
And then we went to this plane that was like nothing.
Yeah.
It was empty. It was a completely blank place.
And wouldn't you just float in space?
Yeah.
I mean, you could say that, sure.
Except there were no stars.
And we were breathing, so that was a plus.
And then after a minute, you guys were like, well, what the fuck's so important about this place?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you saw like a speck that grew into like a dot, that grew into like a coin-sized circle, and it just didn't stop getting bigger.
Yeah.
Until like at all. Like until it was your entire field of view. You can't look anywhere and not see this thing.
We were falling into it, basically. But we weren't.
And then it talked to him. It was definitely like, who are you? Like, why are you here?
And we were just, I don't know.
I forgot about this.
Yeah, we were just there.
Well, so Sam, the thing was, Sam in that day was really just like on your silly level was turned to like max. Like you were just being as out there as you could go already. And you were like, what's your name? And it was like, you cannot hear my name. If I speak my name to you, you would surely die. And he's like, I want to hear it anyway.
I don't know. I hear a lot of names.
I need like everyone's name I need.
Yeah.
And
how bad of a name could it be?
It's like it tells you its name, and you take like 88 points of damage.
Wait, hold on. Right here.
In your head?
They're going to, there was a one-shot and people joined in just for fun. Mm-hmm. They were here.
Oh, yeah.
That's next.
You're
not quite next. That's actually... You meet Dylan a few more times before...
Yeah.
By the way, his name is Dylan.
It becomes Dylan, yeah. We'll get into that.
Spoiler alert, God.
Yeah, because, like, Jack, when you die, you take enough damage to die, and then your soul gets, like, pushed out of your body and doesn't know how to get to the afterlife from here. And so it's just right next to your dead body.
Whoa.
And then... Sam, being Sam, is like, I want to hear your name again, like, as a ghost.
Again? I didn't quite catch it.
And I did, like, another, like, 80 or 90 damage, and I'm like, your soul dies, and then has nowhere to go, and poops right back in right here. Like, you're like, wow.
That's a good name.
Huh. I think I've heard it enough. I'm going to call you Dylan.
Well, that was the thing. I was trying to think of a name. I was like, what am I going to call it? And you're like, Dylan. And I was like, I mean, I guess. Like, why not?
No, you weren't. You were like,
I was not for
That's never ever going to happen.
And then it happened.
And then he just like, wouldn't stop calling him Dylan.
Whatever you say, Dylan. Whatever you say.
And so, they actually talked this thing into... Wow. They actually talked Dylan into, it's so weird. I always hate the name, it being Dylan, because I get so, like...
Confused.
Well, I'm not confused, it's just weird to constantly be saying your own name.
Yeah.
Like, over and over.
So a friend with someone whose name is also Dylan.
I've done that.
You'll lose your entire meeting on your name.
But, like,
But it was Dylan, though.
Yeah. He basically was like, well, hey, I don't know why you're here, but you probably shouldn't be here. Like, you should go back. And you were like, that's gonna be tough. I'm like a ghost.
Yeah, right?
And he, like, grabbed your ghost by the face.
I was like, I'm gonna stay here and talk to you forever. Forever.
Yeah, something like that. That makes sense. He, like, grabbed your ghost by the face and, like, shoved it back in your body. And you were like, oh, okay, I'm alive. That's okay. And then,
hey, what's your name?
Yeah, right.
And then after that, you went back to the future, like, area you were already in.
We were there still, weren't we?
Yeah, we told him about happiness.
Yeah, we told him about happiness with the globe.
I forgot about that.
We made mistakes.
Yeah. I was trying to get back.
Because they kept asking... Yeah, he kept asking you different questions, just in general. And, like... Basically, like, you discovered he was, like, a plane eater. And he was like, I'm definitely, like... what kind of plane are you guys from? And you were like, a normal, like, happy one with, like, joy and stuff. He's like, joy? What does that taste like? And then you guys are like, horrible, terrible, awful.
No, you were like, what is it? What is it?
Yeah, what is it?
And I was having trouble time.
Because he didn't understand emotions.
Crystal ball.
Yeah.
And you were like, show me joy!
And I showed him kids playing.
He was like, that looks delicious. And then we instantly...
Like, no.
The crystal ball started floating as he was looking at it. And then it, like, the crystal ball itself, like, shattered. But, like, the part inside of it that was being viewed did not. And then he just, like, ate that.
Yeah.
And that was when he was like, ooh, I like it. Delicious. And you said your plane's full of this? And you guys are like, no.
No.
It's a rare occurrence.
And yeah, because you guys talked to him for a bit.
Yeah.
You guys single-handedly gave an entire plane eater a
Well,
taste for joy and
The
happiness.
thing is, our characters didn't know anything. Like,
Yeah,
our
and
characters
Dylan's-
went like to this evil place, not even thinking about a thing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Dylan was very vague about what it was, too. He was like, it's a thing, it's big.
That was like God or something.
He was like, it eats planes, but he didn't say that until, like, later. Later. We thought it was a god. We didn't think it was like an evil,
it's definitely
horrible...
a god. Now.
No.
Now it is.
Still not a god.
Still not a god.
It's pretty close, though.
That's good.
And that was like, you guys did get back to the future, and then you went through the portal again.
Yeah.
But you went to, like, another place, because he gave you some symbols, I think.
Yeah, he was like, here.
That was like, he was like, all right, if you're going to keep doing stuff, you should at least check this place out.
Yeah.
And
It's
that
pretty rad.
took you to the Hierophant of Palor, right?
On the plane.
So you're telling me...
No, we went to the jungle plane. The forest.
Yeah,
plane.
it was the Wildlands.
You're telling me this creature that eats planes that does not know what good and happiness was gave Sam the phone number to get in contact with a Hierophant of good?
No.
It sounds like he gave him the Wildlands first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they found several of these symbols for the Stargate fucking portals.
But we were lost.
Yeah, we just kept
Yeah,
going
we
to places.
We kept going from place to place to place because we were definitely lost.
Trying to get back.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And that's why we came upon the Hierophant. That's why we came upon, like, everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
because when you got to the Wildlands, that was important. Nicole was already a druid. She had already been hanging out with a guy she wasn't really fond of in a world with no trees or grass.
Or I
Art
was
imitates
cranky.
life.
She was like, yes.
Finally goes to basically Druid Paradise, the plane.
Yeah. I talked to everyone.
Yeah, she talked to every
And
animal.
then I collected, while we were there, assassin vines, a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of those.
And then I came upon these 2 hippogriffs. They
Yep.
were very awesome, and I tricked them into loving me.
Tricked them.
Because they
We're
were
going
like,
to a nice
yeah.
place.
I told them we were going to a nice place, and I need their help. And they came with me. Did I get my griffin?
I think you got your griffin there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And I got
had
my
a griffin
Pegasus
already,
there.
and then you got another griffin
Yeah.
and 2 hippogriffs.
I got my unicorn.
Somewhere there, I found.
And you got a
Griffin.
unicorn.
Yeah, I got a unicorn
Yeah.
too, but at the end, I gave it to Sam.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't use it anymore. I don't know what happened to it.
It's like
You were using it.
Not in this
Snack
most
plate.
recent one-off.
you didn't want to
Like,
kill it. You didn't want to
True,
kill it.
yeah. It's just at my royal stables.
And I got a bunch of animals while I was there. It was lovely.
Yeah.
That's all we really did there.
Yeah, we just kind of talked to the animals and assured them that everything in the plane that we were going to was fine.
It was.
Yeah. And then we went to the plane because we were lost.
How do I get home?
Yep. And at this point, Nicole had animals. All of her animals could fly, but my unicorn could not. So I was stuck on the ground, but she was always in the air.
Always.
Mm-hmm. Always.
Always.
It was very hard to deal with.
That was my safe zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely
it's
worked.
Yeah.
definitely hard to hit her
Yeah.
when all you have is a steel folding chair.
And she still had amazing ride checks, so
Yeah.
she's just like,
Yeah.
deflect.
The thing
fuck
is,
you.
my girl was Dex to, like, be an animal person.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just built for
Like
it.
an animal.
Yeah,
shape.
like, I wasn't wanting to be strong, but I wanted my animals to be strong.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I did. So my character wasn't that strong, but my animals were awesome.
Yeah.
And then one of the big things was when you guys did get to the Hierophant.
Yeah.
It was a Hierophant of Palor. And then when he met you, he basically talked to you about, like, what's your story, like, what's going on. And he's like, oh, wow, this is like pretty
That's
fucked.
tough.
Like,
Yeah, that sounds rough.
and you're like decked in like all this Paylor armor and stuff, and you're like, but I love Paylor. Like,
I'm eliminating evil for Paylor.
and he's definitely like, why is this guy not a fucking cleric or paladin?
He definitely looks like a paladin. He definitely acts like a paladin.
Is he a ranger?
But he's got a fucking bone.
Stupid motherfucker.
He's got a bone. He can't cast magic. What is this dude doing?
And so he actually, the only thing he gave you was a bunch of stuff for Nicole's animals.
Yeah.
He like decked them out though.
I mean, I fucking love hippogriffs and griffins.
What he did, he gave
And
us money.
Paylor.
He
He
gave
gave us
us
money.
a certain amount of money, and then we used that to...
Well, at this point, I knew you were going to be fighting other players, and you guys had already been used to high treasure, so you had a lot of shit. And then you were like, we got like millions of gold from him. Can we please buy items for ourselves? And I was like, only the animals. They will fucking never let me live it down if I give you guys a million fucking items before.
I think I may have been able to get like an enchantment for my armor.
Yeah,
Right.
you got boots and you got stuff. You got stuff to ride. And...
Oh yeah, you get the riding boots.
Yeah, the steed. It was you're right. It was hooves for the horse.
You got
so I
hooves
did buy it
and-
for my animal.
Yeah.
No, you still got some for yourself. You got gloves, riding gloves.
No, I didn't, because the hooves gave me a ride check for having.
Okay.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah,
I remember it being like very interesting.
It's like the horseshoes of perilous steed. It's definitely perilous steed. Go look it up. It's bullshit if you're like a ride by attack character.
And you can use horseshoes.
Yep.
I mean, if you've got a horse, then you can use horseshoes.
So I definitely
use like
decked
a
out
wolf.
my animals.
Yeah. And they were really decked out. Like, one of them had, like, your main griffin that you rode most of the time.
He's the one that got decked out the most. The other one just had, like, regular armor.
Yeah, that
He had a
griffin
plus
fucking-
10 armor enchantment that was reflecting magic.
Yeah, and it was rad.
Yeah. It was really cool.
Yeah.
As soon as that happened, I was like, oh.
Oh.
And that was the big one. Then you had one that was, like, basically couldn't get hurt by lightning. Another one that couldn't get hurt by fire.
The elemental boys, as we call
Yeah,
it.
those were the hippogriffs.
I put mithril wings on it on the Pegasus, and I put flying
on the
it
unicorn.
because
you wanted to be able to fly.
I wanted to be able to fly too.
Yeah.
Sick.
You might have done that later.
Yeah, I might have done that later.
Because you couldn't fly.
Did we fight them before this?
You fought me, Rodney,
No, you
and
definitely had
Scott.
the unicorn when you fought him.
You fought me, Rodney, and Scott first in like a wooded area.
You
that turned out
were on
great.
the ground. You weren't flying yet.
Yeah, I know I wasn't flying, but I thought that I bought those like here. I don't know. I don't remember.
I think you had to have them made.
Did I get
somewhere.
them? I may have gotten them at when we were with the other players. Do you think?
Yeah, I think that's when it was. That makes sense.
I think this battle with them was the reason that I also wanted to get flying.
It's definitely effective.
Yeah, never mind. Sorry, I've ruined everything.
Yeah, because then he gives you the like runes you need to actually get back.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
And then you're doing some more stuff in the future. It's not a huge amount. You're almost ready.
Yeah.
We're just getting ourselves prepared.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the future I think we've gotten to we actually got to a level that was higher than theirs.
Yeah.
But
there were only 2 of you.
It was like level 13 or something like that. And then we went back to the portal, and we got all our animals back to the hellscape, the horrible demon hellscape that we told them we were going to take them back to a good place. And we rode our asses off to get to the place where Ruel was taking us.
Gonna send you back in time.
Yeah.
Because that was why Ruel was alive, was so he could do this ritual that the old man had done to send you forward. He was going to do the same thing to send you back.
Which I guess we didn't think about.
Before we headed back, Sam and our characters, got into a huge fight because he turned evil. And he didn't want to do it anymore because he lost faith of his god.
How did
or
that
something.
happen, Sam? How did you lose
I think we
faith?
missed that.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking
it was
about.
before that, and me and him got into a huge fight, and he wanted to leave and do other stuff, and I'm like, no, you're not.
It was like at the beginning of all of this.
Yeah,
Like
and-
it was like
Joined
before
our
we even
ranks.
went back in time, I think, is what you're talking about.
No, we weren't back in time.
Because we
Forward.
fought somebody and they turned me evil, is that what
Yeah.
you're talking about? And then we went back to the church and I went to the Paylor church and they wouldn't take me because I was evil. I was like, but I'm dressed as Paylor. And then I went to the Nara church, and they wouldn't take me because I was dressed as Paylor. And I was like, you know what? This is some bullshit. I give up Paylor. I'm moving to the woods.
No. You were back from the future when that happened.
Was that then?
That was... No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It might have been before
I don't
you
remember when it was, but I know I also turned evil at some point, and that was like a...
Sam and I
fought
we got in a fight, and my character won. But... Yeah. I'm just the guy say that.
Just so you know.
And that's when we stopped hating each other.
Yeah, we stopped hating each other and we bonded after that.
Nicole's character wasn't with you during the big boss fight. You probably would have died.
Man, no, we almost stopped the whole thing because when me and him got in a fight, I was just leaving. I was about to leave and we had to stop the actual game.
And we would have won.
It would have been like, and the bad guys destroyed everything because the good guys just couldn't get along.
The end.
It was really bad. And after we took
a break,
really
close, yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm just going to fight him, I guess. And like, yeah.
But it did work out. You guys managed to become friends.
Meet Ruel.
After we kicked each other's asses. And after I kicked his ass for everything.
Okay. And then we got back.
And I think you apologized too. You were like, look, it really wasn't me. I was still just a kid, but and I can't make it up to you, but...
Yeah.
Sorry.
We made up. We're friends again.
Yeah.
Friends.
Friends. Friends, but the friends, and they're not
acquaintances.
Friends.
Warriors. In
Lyle was an acquaintance.
Lyle was definitely an acquaintance.
Lyle was an acquaintance. But we got Ruel back to the place, and he
did the thing.
Told us that he was not going to be coming back with us, and we mourned.
He was like, I have to send you back. And they were like, wait, aren't you going to
come with us?
Like, he's like, no.
We were really sad. We wanted him to come with us so bad.
Even though to this point he had done nothing.
Yeah, but he was like...
He was there for us.
Yeah, he was there, though.
He was a character, Dylan. He was a character.
We bonded with him because he was like the only good person.
When did we fight the wall?
It was before this. We went through a little dungeon, remember? And I turned
there was definitely a little dungeon.
A bird the whole time.
Yeah, Nicole was a hummingbird the whole time.
Oh my god!
It was right before we went back.
Yeah, it was like the last thing you did in the evil place. You were like, we'll just get a little bit more XP.
I can train a little more.
And he finally did.
And at this point, you guys were strong enough that Ruel was able to use bigger spells without worry, because if something bigger showed up, you'd just kill it.
Yeah,
right.
Theoretically. Hopefully.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge dungeon. I actually... Which one? I think it was the dungeon that I made for you guys. I made it for them.
Was it the big hole dungeon?
No, that was later. This is in the past, when Ruel's in the past.
What?
Yeah, remember the statue and...
No, wait.
That's later, yeah.
Oh, man, okay. I just... Because it's...
it's so much!
I mean, we're damn near on an hour, and we're just getting to the final fucking pages of this chapter, before the final fight.
Damn it, I forgot that there was this much
stuff.
We come back, and the guy is laying there,
he's like,
dying.
I'm tired.
Yeah, the old man is like, oh my god, that took like everything I had. And then you guys are like,
hey, old man.
How do we get Ruel from the whatever? Shaking him. We need Ruel.
No,
and he's like, it's not possible. You just can't.
I think we just took him to his room or something and let him rest because he was almost dead. And everyone around us was like, he needs to rest or he's gonna die. Fine.
Yeah. These aren't requests anymore. These are medical demands.
And you guys go. From whatever, and meanwhile, all the time at this point now, Dylan, who is an eldritch being, if you didn't understand that already, but he's this outer eldritch, has been consistently getting a hold of Jack Jackson, by just being like, "Hey, Jack." And then Jack takes a point of damage because Jack was being an asshole the first time that this started, and so I just kept that. Every time that this thing would talk to Sam, he would take a point of damage, and sometimes Sam would get sassy, and I'd be like, take a point of damage.
Yeah.
He would talk to Willow too, but he wouldn't hurt.
He wouldn't talk
Willow.
to me.
Nope.
Because he talked to you, didn't
because he wouldn't hurt me. He didn't want to hurt me. He wanted to hurt you.
Oh, I thought he would just talk to you and not hurt you.
No, I don't think he talked to her hardly ever. Really? It was almost always Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was definitely also, you got a headache.
That sucked. He would do it like at the worst times, though.
Yeah. He was like, really good at that.
He was like in the middle of a fight. I've got 3 hit points. He's like, "Hey, Jack." Now I have
2 hit points. And you're like, "What do you want?" And he's like, "Looks like you're having a hard time." Like,
1 hit point.
No, you can keep talking to him once he took the damage. But if Sam said something like, "Dude, fuck you," I'd be like, "Take a point of damage." Like, he just makes your headache a little worse.
Yeah, stupid.
But he never did like kill you with it or anything. He was just like, he was usually just asking questions or just giving him a small like tidbit of help or instruction, something. It was always something small and usually stupid, which helped because Jack Jackson was definitely like, I fucking don't think I like this guy.
I kept positive most of the time.
Yeah,
I didn't mind the 1 hit point every now and again, but it was like.
It was always the most inconvenient time it could be. Sam would be like, "I want to concentrate." And I'm like, "Hey, Jack." And you're like, "What?"
I'm trying to shoot somebody. Give me like 5 minutes. Oh, that won't work. That won't work. I'm busy now. I'm just here to tell you that there's a way to bring her well back.
And he's made it clear that he exists like beyond time. Like he can get a hold of you at any time from his perspective, so he's not busy. Like,
there's no time here. There's no time here. I just wanted to tell you.
And so, yeah, it was funny. And then when they get back to the actual past, he's still talking to Jack Jackson. And Jack definitely was like, "Oh, I really thought this was going to go away." And he's like, "Okay, so still getting talked to from him." And you guys needed something because like the world hadn't collapsed yet. And you wanted to go to some other plane. I don't remember why.
No, we fought these guys.
The first fight. That's what it was.
The first fight. How do we want to handle this?
Yeah. Ooh.
How do we want to handle the first fight?
We just...
I don't know. I think that we...
I don't think we have another...
Waste 4 minutes.
Yeah, we do. We definitely have another hour.
Yeah, dude.
Really?
Yeah, after the original fight with you guys, when we decided to continue...
It became a campaign again.
There's another campaign. Basically, Askiah 4.
It's basically, yeah.
This is news to me.
Askiah Act 4. It's still part of Part 3, but it's like the second act of Part 3.
Yeah, it's Part 3.
So we have Askiah Act 1, Askiah Act 2, Askiah Act 3 Part 1,
and Askiah Act 3 Part 2.
For all of you keeping a timeline at home.
This is new news to me, so now we all have to find the right timeline.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
it's just the way things worked out because, we'll have to go into it. Like,
well, I mean, I don't know. It was just like when it came down to it, like we weren't satisfied with it.
Yeah, no shit.
Let's just start off with it. And
well, I mean, we now have like 2 minutes.
Let's go ahead and try this.
Fucking waste some time.
Also, something I want to mention. This is completely off the wall for what we were talking about, but. If you have any questions that you want to send us, send them to yourdndjoey@gmail.com. Yeah. And we'll answer them on this podcast at the end because we don't have anything to do in like the last 2 or 3 minutes usually.
Yeah, so leave them down in the comment section of the last video.
Just put question in the subject bar.
Well, if comments start going crazy, the email will definitely work.
Yeah. Please put question in the subject bar so I don't just delete it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But this has been
both.
Yeah, right.
Agreed.
This has been constantly spam Joey.
Sign him up for magazines.
This has been Dungeons and Dialogue, brought to you by your D&D channel,
and no longer Kellogg's.
No longer Kellogg's, but maybe General Mills.
The disappointment you can see.
They're not that great.
Be sure to
yeah, I'm saying it, Kellogg's.
Quit starting wars where wars don't exist.
Also, fuck Keemstar.
Yeah, fuck Keemstar.
I hope we were past that. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell to make sure you get all of our recent, current, and future updates. Make sure to check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and potentially Tumblr in the future. I just keep saying that.
Yeah, now we have to
in your local library.
There's pamphlets on the community board. Thank you for listening, and you all have a great day.